Oh yeah, Udayan is totally an angel. Totally not like looking over at the girl and checking her out. Welcome back. This is Edward Reeves Buddhist Books Podcast, episode 90. Can you hear that? I wasn't planning to record today, but then it started raining. And I know that if those who've been following along have heard me talk about how the rain, where's the rain? It's supposed to be raining. The rain's late. Global warming. It's raining. It's with thunder and everything. So hope you enjoy the rain, the ambient rain background. Okay. Last time, you might recall, we finished Sangha We did number 13, and the review of all the 13 rules, as well as kind of a review of the 4 parajika. So today, I did peek a little bit ahead, and I kind of caught the word undetermined, right? Which brings me to our special guest. This is Undetermined. Do you recognize her? When we were in Darjeeling, I really kind of fell in love with this statue. I like the statue, nothing weird. But yeah, they said it was wild Tara, and they also used the term Jogini. And I did a little bit of Googling. I'm like, no, it's not. And they were like, oh, well, it's a form of Jogini. I'm like, But it's not, though. These are the forms of Jogini. And so anyway, they were insisting that was the place that was run by the Muslim family, selling Tibetan, no judgment, but I don't know. Maybe. They said that this dog is definitely a Tibetan dog, which means that this statue is definitely Buddhist. It's Tantric Buddhist, Tibetan Tantric Buddhist. It's not Hindu Tantric, right? But, of course, very closely related. I forget the name of them, the Maha. Well, anyway, there's these deities in Hindu Tantra that are obviously very closely connected to similar deities in Tibetan Tantric Buddhism. This has nothing to do with early Buddhism, by the way. This is a much later development. This is sort of the equivalent of... I can't think of a good non-offensive equivalent in the West. Yeah, never mind, just edit this part out. So I thought it appropriate, since the next section we're going to be reading seems to be called Undetermined, and since the identity of this goddess is also undetermined.
And nobody seems to know the ingredient because it's unknown, right? Well, in the kryptonite there was an unknown element, and it's unknown, and Superman didn't die.
Thank you very much, Richard Pryor. That was right on point. So I don't know what we're going to be reading. In fact, you probably have more information than I do, because at least you know the Pali name of the chapter. I make a point not to look ahead because I like to be surprised. Sort of that reaction video kind of effect. If this is your first time seeing me, do go ahead and click here. That will take you to the beginning of the Tipiṭaka. And yes, so without further ado, let's get to today's reading, shall we? Find out what this is that's going to be happening now. Hopefully there'll be some more thunder. Maybe the rain will increase while I'm reading. We'll see. These 2 undetermined matters, venerable ones, come up for exposition. Undetermined. Did they determine it later? All right. Undetermined, or Aniyata. 1. Oh, okay. Oh, so there's 2. This is the first one. At one time, the Enlightened One, the Lord, was staying at Savatthi in Anathapindika's park in the Jeta Grove. At that time, the Venerable Udayin was dependent on families in Savatthi and approached many families. Now, at that time, the young girl of a family who was supporting the Venerable Udayin had been given in marriage, in parentheses, to a boy of a certain family. Then the Venerable Udayin, getting up early and taking his bowl and robe, approached that family. And having approached them, he asked the people, those who remember the earlier stories that involve Udayin will understand why I'm kind of side-eyeing the camera here. He asked the people, quote, "Where is the girl called so-and-so?" So they don't want to say her name. They didn't remember her name, or maybe it's so awful they just want to leave her name out of it. Let's find out. They said, "Honored sir, she was given to a boy of a certain family." End quote. Now, this family supported the Venerable Udayin. Then the Venerable Udayin approached this family, and having approached them, he asked the people, quote, "Where is the girl called so-and-so?" They said, "Master, she is sitting in the inner room." "Oh, Udayin, leave her alone." Then the Venerable Udayin approached this girl, and having approached her, he sat down with that girl, a man and a woman, in a secret place on a secluded, convenient seat, conversing at the right time, speaking Dhamma at the right time. Now, at that time, Visakha, Migara's mother, had many children and many grandchildren. The children were healthy, and the grandchildren were healthy, and she was considered to be auspicious. People used to regale the Visakha first at sacrifices, festivals, and feasts. So Visakha, being invited, went to that family. Visakha saw the Venerable Udayin sitting together with that girl, a man and a woman, in a secret place on a secluded, convenient seat. Seeing this, she said to the Venerable Udayin, oh, okay, so it's not Udayin, the girl, and a man and a woman. It's saying Udayin was sitting with the girl, alone, in a secret, secluded place. Right, okay, I remember reading about situations like this in another context later on in Buddhism. Bodhisattvas aren't allowed to do this. Maybe this is undetermined, so they haven't decided. Let's see where it goes. Quote, "This is not proper, honored sir. It is not suitable that the mother should sit together, that the mother should sit with women folk, a man and a woman, in a secret place on a secluded, convenient seat. Although, honored sir, the master has no desire for that thing, unbelieving people are difficult to convince." Oh yeah, Udayin is totally an angel, totally not like looking over at the girl and checking her out. Totally not like, why is he sitting with this girl? Why did he seek her out? Udayin, I don't trust you. I'm sorry, you've given me no reason to believe that this is perfectly innocent. In the past, from your past. Anyway. But the Venerable Udayin took no heed after he had been spoken to thus by Vishka. Then Vishka, was she Russian? When she also departed, told this matter to the monks. Those who were modest monks became annoyed, vexed, angry, and said, quote, "How can the Venerable Udayin sit together with women folk, a man and a woman in a secret place in a secluded, convenient seat?" End quote. And these monks told this matter to the Lord. He said, Is it true, is it true, as is said, Udayan, that you sat together with women folk, a man and a woman, in a secret place on a secluded, convenient seat? It is true, Lord, he said, the enlightened one. The Lord rebuked him, saying, How can you, foolish man, sit together with women folk, a man and a woman, in a secret place on a secluded, convenient seat? It is not, foolish man, for the benefit of unbelievers. 3 dots. Right? And thus, monks, this course of training should be set forth. Whatever monk should sit down with a woman, the one with the other, in a secret place, on a secluded, convenient seat, and if a trustworthy woman lay follower, seeing him, should speak concerning a certain one of these matters, one of 3 matters, either one involving defeat, or one entailing a formal meeting of the order, or one involving expiation. We haven't gotten to those yet. And the monk himself acknowledging that he was sitting down should be dealt with according to a certain one of 3 matters, as to whether it is one involving defeat, or as to whether it is one involving a formal meeting of the order, or as to whether it is one involving expiation. Or that monk should be dealt with according to what that trustworthy woman lay follower should say. This is an undetermined matter. End quote. Well, so basically, if a monk goes and sits in a secluded place with a girl or a woman, and then, was it specifically some woman lay follower? Yes. Yes. So someone should gossip and say, I think they were in there. Breaking rule number 1, as they say. No, that doesn't mean working non-union. That means, what's the polite way of saying it? Boffing?
Taking the old log to the beaver.
Hide the weasel, park the porpoise.
Coitus uninterruptus.
The horizontal mumbo.
Gonna put the hot dog in the bun.
Rumple foreskin.
Taking the skin boat to Tuna Town.
There's a bunch of different ways to politely refer to sexual intercourse. Sexual intercourse. There's one. That's the one the Victorians used. Anyway, so yes. So if that's a defeat. But if they say, I bet he was in there touching her hair, then that's like a formal meeting. If he was doing it kind of going, like with perversion in his heart, as the rule says. And then the expiation, we haven't gotten to those, so we can look forward to some expiation rules that are probably like lesser forms of pervy monk behavior. I know I do. Look forward to it. Reading about it. Anyway. Whatever means he who, on account of his relations, on account of his social standing, on account of his name, on account of his clan, on account of his morals, on account of his dwelling, on account of his field of activity, in parentheses, an elder or a novice or one of middle standing, this is called whatever. Monk means he is a monk because he is a beggar for alms, a monk because he submits to wandering for alms, a monk because he is one who wears the patchwork cloth, a monk by the designation, parentheses, of others, end parentheses, a monk on account of his knowledge, on account of his acknowledgement, a monk is called, quote, come, monk, end parentheses. A monk is endowed with going to the 3 refuges. A monk is auspicious. A monk is the essential. A monk is a learner. A monk is an adept. A monk means one who is endowed with harmony for the order, with the resolution at which the motion is put 3 times and then followed by the decision with actions, parentheses, in accordance with Dhamma and the discipline, end parentheses. with steadfastness, with attributes of a man perfected. Whatever monk is endowed with harmony for the order, with the resolution at which the motion is put 3 times, and then followed by the decision with actions, parentheses, in accordance with Dhamma and the discipline. I think that's implied, right? Maybe that's what they're saying. Okay, end parentheses. With steadfastness, okay, actions, like not just any old action, like actions that are, anyway. With steadfastness and the attributes of a man perfected, this one is a monk as understood in this meaning. Woman means a human woman, not a female yaka, not a female departed one, not a female animal, even a girl born on this very day, much more an older one. That again. Together with means together. A man with a woman means there is a monk and also a woman. A secret place means secret from the eye, secret from the ear. Secret from the eye means if covering the eye or reining the eyebrow, raising the eyebrow, or raising the head, he is unable to see. Secret from the ear means he is unable to hear ordinary speech. I think it's possible, though, to break rule number 1 more quietly than ordinary speech. Am I speaking from experience? Well, I cannot tell a lie. A secluded seat means it is recluded by a wall built, unless it's of omission, by a wall, a wattle and daub, or by a door, or by a screen, or by a screen wall, or by a tree, or by a pillar, or by a sack, or it is concealed by anything whatsoever. So he's eliminating like, oh, but we just hung a big banana leaf there, Lord. Okay. Communist means, convenient. All right. Well, there it is. Don't say convenient directly into the candle. Learning every day. Convenient means it is possible to indulge in sexual intercourse. That's what convenient means. Okay, I will update my definitions in my brain. That's the meaning of convenient. Okay. Should sit down means when the woman is sitting, the monk is sitting or lying close to her. When the monk is sitting, the woman is sitting or lying close to him. Both are sitting or both are lying. Trustworthy means a woman who, in parentheses, has attained the fruit. One who possesses complete understanding. One who has learned the teaching. Female lay follower means one going to the enlightened one for refuge. One going to Dhamma for refuge. One going to the order for refuge. Seeing means seeing. Should speak concerning a certain one of 3 matters, either one involving defeat, or one entailing a formal meeting of the order, or one involving expiation, and the monk himself acknowledging that he was sitting down, should be dealt with according to a certain one of 3 matters, as to whether it is involving defeat, or as to whether it is one involving a formal meeting of the order, or as to whether it is one involving expiation, or that monk should be dealt with according to what that trustworthy woman lay follower should say. If she should say this, the master was seen by me sitting and indulging in sexual intercourse with a woman. And if he acknowledges this, he should be dealt with for an offense. If he acknowledges it, well, yeah, then he's kicked out. Right? If she should say this, the master was seen by me sitting and indulging in sexual intercourse with a woman, and if he should say this, it is true that I was sitting, but I was not indulging in sexual intercourse, he should be dealt with for sitting down. Right? There was that old story about the woman who was having some kind of pain, and they were like, I think she's pregnant. And they asked her, because she was a younger woman, they said, are you sexually active? And she said, no. And they were like, well, it's not pregnancy. So they checked all these other things, and then they finally came back around to it. It has to be pregnancy. And then they checked and tested, and sure enough, she was pregnant. And they said, but you said you're not sexually active. And she said, no, I just lay there. Sorry. Anyway, yes, for sitting down. If she should say this, the master was seen by me sitting and indulging in sexual intercourse with a woman, and if he should say this, I was not sitting, but I was laying down, he should be dealt with for lying down, not laying down, Edward. If she should say this, the master was seen by me sitting and indulging in sexual intercourse with a woman, and if he should say this, I was not sitting, but I was standing, he is not to be dealt with. But he didn't say whether you can still do it standing. Haven't you seen all that artwork from the Tibetan temples? Oh wait, that came later. I guess they haven't seen that. Maybe they didn't have positions back then. All right, anyway. If she should say, the master was seen by me lying down and indulging in sexual intercourse with a woman, if he acknowledges this, he should be dealt with for an offense. Is this like a copy-paste of everything we've already read? If she should say, the master was seen with a woman, and he should say this, it is true that I was lying down, but I was not indulging in sexual intercourse, he should be dealt with for lying down. If she should say this, the master, with a woman. All right? And if he should say this, I was not lying down, but I was sitting, he should be dealt with for sitting down. If she should say, the master, with a woman, and he should say, I was not lying down, but I was standing, he should not be dealt with. Because they don't know about doing it while standing up. Anyway, sorry. Yes, if she should say this, the master was seen by me sitting together with a woman and indulging in physical contact, and if he acknowledges this should be dealt with for an offense, In the 3 dots is involving a formal meeting of the order, which you would have to understand this whole context of this whole book to understand what goes in the 3 dots, because it's not actually a repeating of something that was said before, Mr. Horner. All right. It is true that I was lying down, but I did not indulge in physical contact. He should be dealt with for lying down, 3 dots. I was not lying down, but I was sitting down, 3 dots. I was not lying down, I was standing. He should not be dealt with. Mr. Horner just got tired of writing words. If she should say this, the master was seen by me sitting together with a woman, the one with the other, in a secret place, on a secluded seat, suitable for sexual intercourse. End quote. And if he acknowledges this, he should be dealt with for sitting down. 3 dots. I was not sitting down, but I was lying down. He should be dealt with for lying down. I was not sitting down, I was standing. He should not be dealt with. If she should say this, the master was seen by me lying down, 3 dots, on a secluded seat, suitable for sexual intercourse. And if he acknowledges this, he should be dealt with for lying down. I was not lying down, I was sitting down. He should be dealt with for sitting down, 3 dots. I was not lying down, I was standing. He should not be dealt with. Undetermined means not determined as to whether it involves defeat or formal meeting of the order or expiation. He acknowledges going. He acknowledges sitting down. He acknowledges an offense. he should be dealt with for an offense. He acknowledges going, he goes out acknowledging, he does not acknowledge sitting down, but he acknowledges an offense. He should be dealt with for an offense. He acknowledges going, he acknowledges sitting down, but he does not acknowledge an offense. He should be dealt with for sitting down. He acknowledges going, he does not acknowledge sitting down, and he does not acknowledge an offense. He should not be dealt with. He does not acknowledge going, but he acknowledges sitting down. I thought this was going to be a table of contents for the next section, but it's not. He should not be dealt with. He should be dealt with for an offense. He does not acknowledge going. He does not acknowledge sitting down, but he acknowledges an offense. He should be dealt with for an offense. He does not acknowledge going, but he acknowledges sitting down. Though he does not acknowledge an offense, he should be dealt with for sitting down. He does not acknowledge going. He does not acknowledge sitting down. He does not acknowledge an offense. He should not be dealt with. Told is the first undetermined offense. All right. There's two of these. So we'll read the second one when we return to Edward Reeves' Buddhist Books podcast. Thank you to our special guest, Wild Tara Jogani, and Udayan. Thanks, Udayan. He's the donkey. Is there anything else? Do you have any questions? All right. Well, I hope you all enjoyed the rain sound. I know I did. It's a little different from the usual hooting and hollering and the ambient hum of the AC. Been waiting for this rain to come. It's a bit late. All right, I'll go ahead and close now. To the north and to the south, to the east and to the west, to the spirits of light among us and to the spirits below, we send out our reverent love and compassion. May all beings be happy. May all beings be serene. May all beings be in peace. Until next time.